Today was all about letting them see that we workshop through insight as a creative narrative, so that we don't just suddenly jump to, I think this artist is all about X. What we do is we get away from that a little bit and start thinking about who's the target audience. And so the first thing, we go around the team, they're all working in teams in different rooms, and we're trying to say, right, stop on that for a little bit, and you just start prompting with questions. Who's the audience for this? Who are the fans for this? And if it's not fans now, who could the fans be? How old are they? How are they living? What else are they listening to? What other music do they enjoy? Okay, now this artist, you try not to ask them what you think, but what have you experienced? What have you heard? When you heard it, what did it make you think who this person was and what they're trying to say? And you get things like, oh, the lyrics are all about X, which means it's talking to this audience, not that audience. And then trying to say to them, right, from those learnings, from those insights, it's those that will inspire ideas around the constrained nature of the problem we're trying to solve.
Who's in here? Which groups are in here? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back downstairs shortly. We're going to be back on those bleachers, the concrete things.
So what we try and do at the end is, rather than them just being in a bubble of what they think is right for this audience and this artist, we get them to come up and present through what they've been discussing. We try and get them to do it as a narrative of what they've learned. So what did you learn about the audience? What did you learn about their lives? What did you learn about music? And then your artist, what does it make you think?
The typical audience is around 18 to 25-year-old girls or guys.
So we had like our brief for skaters, seeing as that's where they met, like where their band came together.
Popularity-wise, they've had one song played on Radio X, which is still an achievement, and they've had one song on FIFA, which is also an achievement.
His target audience is 29 plus. But we think that he should change it to like a younger audience.
What you're trying to do is get collaborative learning going on, so that people sitting up there being presented to go, oh, I didn't realise that, that makes me think, and they can steal some insight, if you like, and apply it to their project. We then have our artist managers, Richard and James, feed back, because we've gone from quite a broad brief that the guys are trying to solve, and now we're trying to narrow and tighten up the brief.
So that idea of them being political, we talked about them being a political party, you touched on it. What's Strange Bones' manifesto?
We get Richard and James to say, yeah, I agree with you, or I don't, or focus in on that area, that's quite important to me. So the students have inspired Richard and James a little bit as well and challenged some of their thinking.
You guys seem to respond to things that already are known, right? And my two acts are completely unknown.
For Masterclass 3, they come back, each team's got about 5 minutes. They'll be almost presenting to a panel and bring it to life in some way.
Better ideas, faster.